Good day. Now we will tackle about phonemes, stress, intonation, pitch, volume, and juncture. Stress. The meaning of the word will depend on the utterance and how to emphasize the stress on the word's syllable. A syllable stress has a longer, louder, and higher sound than the other syllables in the word. There's two determinants of stress: the first and second syllable stress. If you put the stress on the first syllable, it means a noun or an adjective. But if we put the stress on the second syllable, it means an action word or the verb. Now, we will differentiate the meaning of the words through its stresses. First, we have the word record and record. Record means a collection of related items of information, while record is an act of keeping information through writing or photography. Next, we have present and present. Present is something that was presented, or in other terms, it is a gift, while present means to give or bestow formally. Address and address. Address means a place where a person or organization may be communicated with, while the address means it is directing the efforts or attention to something or someone. Content means the amount of specified materials contained, while content means to limit oneself in requirements, desires, or action. Now we will have desert and desert. Desert means a land with sparse vegetation, while desert means to leave or withdraw, usually without intent to return. Contest is a competition, while contest is to make a subject of dispute, contention, and litigation. Lastly, we have suspect and suspect. Suspect is the one that is suspected, while suspect means to imagine one to be guilty or culpable on slight evidence or without proof. Note that the stress will give an emphasis on the syllables, and we can determine the meaning of the words through proper placement of the stress in the word syllables. Now, let's move on with the juncture and intonation. When we say juncture, it is a pause or slight delay in the continuous flow of speech, while intonation is the use of changing from rising to falling vocal pitch to convey grammatical information and personal attitude. It is particularly important in expressing question in English. Now, let's try to observe the given examples if there's any juncture or intonation. Let's begin with example number 1. It's not white. This statement has no pause, and it is a falling intonation. This means that the speaker says that color is not white. But if we put the comma after the word not, this will create another statement. It's not white. This have a pause, and the intonation is also a falling intonation. Though this disagree with the statement number 1 because this says that it is white. Let's move on to example number 2. Mark Anthony and I are friends. So there's no pause and there's only two persona, Mark Anthony and the speaker. But if we put the comma after the word Mark and Anthony, this will create and add another character. Mark, Anthony, and I are friends. So notice that if we put the comma, this will create another character. So there's now 3 characters: Mark, Anthony, and the speaker. Note that there's a period, and this means that it's a falling intonation. Now let's jump with example number 3. Dr. Alexander, John is my name. So in here, the name of the doctor is Alexander, and John is the name of the patient. But if we put the comma after the word doctor, this will mean that the name of the speaker is now Alexander John. Dr. Alexander John is my name. So notice the difference. If we put the comma after the word Alexander, Alexander is the name of the doctor, and John is the name of the patient. But if we put the comma after the word doctor, the name of the patient is now Alexander John. Let's now move on with example number 4. You think I'm sad? This statement has no pause and its intonation is a falling intonation because of the period. But if you change it into a question mark, you think I'm sad? This statement is questioning, while this is only stating. You think I'm sad? And note that we have a rising intonation. Finally, the example number 5. Oh, really? There's a rising intonation because it's asking a question. There's a question mark after the word really. Now, if you put an exclamation point, though it pertains an exaggeration, but still the intonation is a falling intonation. Oh, really? Oh, really? What does stress do to words? Stress is the emphasis in the word syllable when pronouncing it. It is the determinant for us to distinguish what the word is meaning. Why is it important to apply correct stress, intonation, pitch, volume, and juncture in a conversation, whether impromptu or prepared? It is important to apply correct stress, intonation, pitch, volume, and juncture to avoid misconception and misunderstanding. It also helps you bring extra attention to your emotion and attitude and emphasizes which words are most important. Because even a single word mistake can create a large mess. That is why it is important for us to know when or how we can use the stress, intonation, pitch, volume, and juncture.